Hello kings, welcome back to the channel Kyngly. On this channel, it's all about walking in wealth as kings as God has intended. So in this episode, we're talking about a new token that I have purchased for myself called Vote in You. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about this token right after this. Yes, this channel is Kyngly. It's all about the relationship between the king and the priest and how God has ordained you to walk in wealth. So yes, like I said, I have ran across a token called Vote in You. And man, I'm pretty excited. Most people in the crypto space will say that they're bullish. I'm bullish on this particular token. So I ran across this token when I actually saw a video by Pablo Crow.
Welcome back to the channel. This is Pablo Crow.
So this video actually put me up on game and let me know that Vote in You actually existed. So now, as of today, it has been out for about 4 to 5 days. And so it is a very new project, a very new token out there for cryptocurrency for people to be able to invest in and get behind. And I'm telling you right now, I see the potential of this particular token bringing compound gains. When I talk about compound gains, I'm talking about constantly doubling itself, and doubling itself, compounding the gains. Now, one of the things we need to really look at is when it comes to investing. A lot of people talk about Bitcoin, which Bitcoin is great, Ethereum is great. Those are great investment opportunities. That's neither here nor there. My point is, I'm one of the people that I love to invest in the smaller value tokens, the new tokens that just come on the block, because a lot of times that you have greater potential of getting compound gains out of the new tokens that just arrived on the block. So what I mean by that is, this particular token, the Vote in You, is a fraction of a penny. I think it's like 15 zeros behind the decimal point. 1/6 something or another. I'll actually put it up on the screen. And so I've purchased a bag of this last night after I saw Pablo Crow's video and actually put me up on game that this actual token existed. And so I did not know it existed until I saw his video, and then I went and started doing some research. And what I started looking for is the number of holders was my first thing I was looking at. At the time and when I actually went and looked, it was right before it crossed the 3,500 holders threshold. And so I understand that when I went to the Telegram, that as soon as it reached 3,500 holders, they was going to start a burn process, which I'll talk about that a little later. So when I looked at the amount of holders, then I looked at the actual market cap on this particular coin, I looked at the value at the price of this particular token. Then I started looking at to see what kind of backing it had. I started going to Twitter. I went to Twitter and I looked and I saw that it had 14.3 thousand followers. And like I said, this token's only been out 4 or 5 days and it's already got 14.35 thousand followers. Now, as of making this video today, it's already surpassed the 3,500 holders, which means there's over 3,500 people who have invested and bought into this particular investment. So I think it's around 3,600 as of right now. And so I want to make that plain because that is important when you're looking at certain projects or certain tokens, I should say, and you want to look at whether or not you want to invest in it. So basically, let me state the obvious right now. I am not a financial advisor. The things that I mentioned on this channel, I'm not mentioning for you to go and invest in them. I'm just letting you know what I'm investing in, what I'm looking at, and how I'm perceiving the market and those particular cryptocurrencies. So now that I have that out of the way, when you go to the website of Vote in You, the first thing that caught my eye was locked liquidity. What that means is the actual developers are locking the liquidity of this particular token, which means that they can't just have a rug pull and then run off with all the investors' money. It's locked. Basically, this is our assurance for the investors who are looking at it to understand that this liquidity is locked. We can go to Unicrypt and actually see that in process. The second thing that caught my eye is that it is a deflationary token. Matter of fact, let me just read to you what is on their website. Vote in You, a highly deflationary token on the Ethereum blockchain that keeps pumping through the use of true deflationary techniques and additional revenue generation. Vote in You has a strong community at its core and is your ticket to wealth creation. In addition to the classic revenue streams such as blue chip NFTs, stablecoin staking, big and medium cap altcoins, yield farms, Vote will generate passive income that will benefit all hodlers through NFTs fractionalization that will be distributed to top holders and through the acquisition of nodes that will allow for continuous revenue generation to be funneled back into Vote. When we talk about deflationary tokens, what we're talking about is that this token has been designed to burn supply. What that means is that they're going to take certain amounts of the total supply out of circulation. And if you know anything about supply and demand, the less of supply, it raises the demand. When it raises the demand, it raises the price. So it raises the value. So that's the whole point of deflationary token. A third thing that caught my eye is the tokenomics. So this token gives reflections. Now, if you don't know anything about reflections, then what that means is whenever that particular token, which in this case is Vote, whenever Vote in You is bought and sold, a certain percentage of that particular sale is set aside, and then a certain percentage is giving back to all those who actually hold the token, who have bought into it and who have invested in it. If you have a DeFi wallet, you will see just free tokens funneling into your balance of your tokens for Vote. So we'll talk a little bit more about DeFi wallets a little bit later in a follow-up video. But for this particular video, we're going to concentrate a little bit more on Vote in You. Another thing I'll do, I'll go to Twitter. And if you know anything about cryptocurrency, you know that Twitter is probably the #1 place to actually see updated news. If you want to see news the fastest, you'll see it most likely on Twitter. And so I'll go to Twitter and I'll look at their news feed. And I'll look at all the different things that they're accomplishing and all the different events that they're involved in and those types of things. And so I'm looking to see activity. I'm looking for basically life in this particular token. And you see it when you go to the Twitter feed. Like I said, they got 14.3 thousand followers who are following them. So they're tweeting out this news, they're tweeting out this event so that people can get an understanding that this token is headed to be a legitimate altcoin. So those are the things that I look for when I'm looking at new projects. Again, the locked liquidity. I'm looking at the reflections, which has to do with the tokenomics. I'm looking, the deflationary aspect of this token is very promising. I love to hear about the burning process that's already built into this project. And so then I'm looking at the backers. Like I said, there's over 3,600 people who have already purchased tokens in this particular project. And so that's awesome as well. So that means it has a backing. They have a Telegram group, which I did get on a Telegram group earlier. And I was asking for some images for this video that I'm doing today. And I ended up getting some images from a few people there. I didn't quite end up using them because of the nature of this video and how I ended up editing it. So shout out to all the people who sent images my way. I appreciate you. And hopefully I'll be able to get those images in upcoming videos. So shout out to Pablo Crow for making your video, because that's how I found out about Vote in You. And so these new projects, you want to be right up on them. You want to make sure that they have some integrity. You want to make sure that they are moving forward. You want to look at their roadmap on their website and see if they're accomplishing the different things on their roadmap as of that date. And like I said, it's only been out like 4 days, and I'm seeing that it's already accomplishing things on the roadmap. And so it has Etherscan, and it has index tools. Just those different things that are actually already happening. And so I'm feeling very bullish about this particular token. And like I said, I just wanted to bring this to you guys to highlight it because I'm myself looking for a compound gain out of this token. If you guys like these videos, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, because I'm going to keep coming back with more and more investment opportunities so that we can walk as kings as God has intended. Until the next video, walk kingly.